But what they're itching for is a real firefight between real men. The white man is sick in his mind, but that's what he's looking for. How do I know that? That's how they used to talk when I was in the service, man. I've been down to Fort Leonard, Missouri a couple of times. Man, them crackers down there don't hide their prejudice. They come out and call you a colored, a nigger. And you talking another lieutenant to lieutenant or captain to captain. You know, and I used to bust their chops and say, well, look, you can say whatever you want to say, but whatever you do, don't you ever cross my path. All right? I said, if you know anything about the Native Americans over here, the reason why there's so few of us is because we believe in fighting. We believe in fighting, you know? And at one time, we used to have respect. A lot of us still do, but we used to have respect for a lot of the, what you call African Americans today, because they had a lot of fight in them. And the funny thing happened. Y'all lost the fight. Y'all used to have it. There's only a handful of you now. And that's the truth of the matter. You know, I'm not up here to butter nobody up. I'm not up here to make nobody feel good and dandy about it, because the truth is the truth. Most of our folks ain't got no damn fight in them.
They got government jobs.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I find it nerve-wracking to find some of our brothers who are even homeless ain't got no fight. You're not irate over the idea that you've been disenfranchised? No, he's concerned with seeing if he can find some chicken bones in the trash can. That's it. That's all he's living for today. You know? And it's like, my goodness, man, we're going to get spanked on all levels here. You know, I can tell you right now of some of my folks out in Pennsylvania, down in North Carolina, down there on them reservations, man, they got some stuff down there, and they say they're waiting for the green light so they could come out and spank this man. American Indians say it ain't over until it's over. You know? And these are the kind of folks that I grew up hearing them talk. And they meant business. They meant business. My grandfather, he was a full-blood Blackfoot. He was the kind of guy that if you crossed him, he was blocking everybody in this room. You crossed him, he shot you. Plain and simple. He didn't take no mess from nobody. That was my grandfather, you know. But a lot of us, unfortunately, as men in this room can't say that, perhaps. Well, I don't know who my father is. I had nobody to give me that strong image. I don't understand what it means to be a man. You know what's being a man? Being a man isn't physically what you look like. Remember, I studied the ancient Hebrew and the modern Hebrew and Arabic. There's parts on your body that has feminine gender. So obviously, you looking the way you look don't make you no man. There's something else that makes you a man. Oh yes, your eyes are feminine gender, your legs, your arms, they're all feminine gender. And if you know anything about the language, you wouldn't be so quick to say, well, I'm a man because look at me. You know, that don't mean anything. To the white man, you're a target. You know, so you can say you're a man all you want, you're just a target. All right, so let me just get over here to the phases now. Now we're ready to get to the good stuff. All right, that was all of the other stuff I gave you. Now let's get to the good stuff. Here are some phases that have already happened here in the city. You know, phase 1 was the reconnaissance and training of their personnel, be it the police department, the New York Army National Guard, the Army Reserve, and you've seen helicopters flying up and down the rivers. How about this Saturday? They had 3 waves of them. All right? What sort of unit was participating in that? I know the name of the aviation company that was flying the choppers. They're preparing for select air assault targets. So reconnaissance, the purpose of reconnaissance that they've done is to come and select certain, what you call reference points, like a projects, for example. But you don't simply say, here's a projects. Every number that's on the front of a building somewhere is a grid coordinate, longitude and latitude. It's a grid coordinate. So whether that building stands there or not, with a map, you can still find that exact location. I could come right here to this location with a map, never even know a church stood here. Those are addresses. So that's one of the things that they're doing under reconnaissance and training. Under reconnaissance, they're getting all the information, they're getting all the reference points. And another point that they use reconnaissance for, or that they have used it for, is so that when they get ready to direct this big, major onslaught that they expect to mass against us coming from upstate New York, the 101 Cav coming out of Staten Island, okay, they're not going to really rely too much on the infantry units that they got here, like the 69th and the 71st and the 107th. They're not going to use them, man. Those are our people. And besides, they got no bolts in their rifles anyway. All their bolts up in Valhalla, New York. The rifles are physically down here, but the bolts are upstate. They're just going to be cannon fodder, period. So while reconnaissance is going on, selecting the windows, the openings in terms of when it's time to come in and fight us, how they're going to direct the battle, what direction they know to come, what roads are open, all of that is done early on in reconnaissance. While that's going on, upstate New York, you have an urban warfare training center that was paid for by the state of New York. This was, I'd say about 1988, 89, somewhere around there, because New York didn't have one before. But they have one now, and man, that thing it looks so real, you might want to move there. I mean, underground, drainage, moving through drainage pipes, going up the fire escapes, over the roofs, rappelling, going into roofs, elevator shafts. I mean, they really hook these buildings up, but people really don't live there. It's just designed for mock battle in terms of fighting in the city. So while the reconnaissance is ongoing, they're training personnel to get them ready to fight in this kind of environment. All right? You know, I mean, everything. If it flies through the air, knock it down. If it moves on the ground, again, be able to deal with it, like fighting in the subway systems, you know? Prepare equipment and logistical resources. That's where you see the C-130s flying up and down the Hudson River. They're flying in the Floyd Bennett Field, Brooklyn. They're going out to Staten Island. They could be going out to New Jersey. Definitely McGuire Air Force Base. And out there, you've got National Guard and Reserve units as well. All over the place. As a matter of fact, New Jersey has an armor division. Armor division, I'm talking tanks. A whole division of tanks. You're talking personnel probably total somewhere around 50,000 people. That's just one division. The state of New York has got maybe about 30,000 people in this division, and this division is pretty much infantry, straight leg, meaning they don't really have that much in way of mechanized vehicles, so everywhere they go, they do what is called, we travel by leather personnel carriers. All right, so the equipment has already been put in place. The proper resources to do the proper job. And what is the proper job? Get rid of us. Okay, phase 3, prepare orders, annexes, and coordinate with other organizations. The police department, federal, local, okay? And I see there's an inordinate number of our folks, elderly that is, who's joining the auxiliary police and the total brainwashing of the cadet corps. I mean, what is this, man? Boy Scouts. To learn what? That thing only prepares you to do one thing. I mean, heck, I was a Boy Scout. You know? And in there, they prepare you, in a sense. They don't come out and say it, but it's the doctrine, man. And next thing you get weaned right into the service. I was in the bank yesterday, and I happened to notice a guy in his cadet Marine Corps uniform. He was with his mother. They were there opening up a bank account. And I stood there just observing this guy. I said, man, this guy just don't know, do he? He don't know. When it gets hot and heavy, since he's already gone through cadet training, he's been on military bases before, because that's the way it works. They take good care of you. And you have no reason why, or you don't seem to understand at the time why they're doing that. Because they're going to use you for something. So prepare orders, annexes. That means the specific units now know what it is that's required of them and how they're going to do what they need to do. All right. Alpha Company is going to take Mark 125. Infantry Division, 71st Infantry Division is going to work on taking care of the South Bronx or Yankee Stadium. Everybody at this point is handed what what their specific task is going to be as it relates to what they call the theater of operations. Now, I'm going to try and get through this real quick because I got to lay on you the nuclear, biological, chemical attacks we can expect. Beyond AIDS. Last-minute preparations, and finally launch the attack. And I want to reiterate this.